Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia. So my goal is to post this tonight. I am never one to refilm. I don't like stop filming and then refilm and then splice things together. Like if I do an unboxing, I sit down and whatever you see is exactly what I filmed in that amount of time. But this is my fourth time filming. And so this is kind of a weight loss update. A couple, maybe 5 weeks ago, I don't know when, I posted the video of me and my weight loss struggles, which I know I've posted from time to time. But I have now had 4 weeks on Phentermine, so I wanted to talk about that and just kind of do a weight loss update. One of my goals for this whole process was I wanted to try focusing on better eating habits, only eating when I'm hungry, and I wanted to be able to stop eating when I'm full and work on like portion control. I wanted to eat a normal amount, like not overdo it, eat kind of exactly what I needed. So that was kind of my goal, because I know that what I'm scared of is like when you stop the medicine, is it all going to come back? And so that's why I wanted to practice good habits while on the medicine. One of the things I know that people recommend when you're losing weight, I've heard for years, is you need ways to measure your success. And I fail at that every time. I don't know. I wish I would have taken pictures. I wish I would have taken measurements. Because I'm fairly sure I've lost inches for sure. I have lost pounds. But I am a person that changes clothing size very slowly. Like, people can lose 10 pounds and then they've somehow dropped 2 sizes. And I'm not that person. So I wish I would have had taken more measurements or ways to gauge success. Some of the things I am trying to work on, or I need to work on, because I want this to be like a lifelong, I want to like, I guess, find success and try to keep success, I guess is what I'm saying. And so one of my things I need to unravel, I think from Weight Watchers, is bad foods. Foods you cannot have. And there was a lot of that, because with the point system, like if you had a hot chocolate, that could be 12 points. Well, that's a third of your points. And so I've basically had a hot chocolate almost every day for the last 4 weeks, which I know is extreme, but that's my treat in the evening, is a hot chocolate that I make at home. Because hot chocolate is something I enjoy. It's something I really like, but I could never have. Hummus is an example that I've already like exercised that demon. I have hummus whenever I want it now. And I mean, so there's things like that. Oreos were something I've already kind of fixed. I've had enough of. I've realized I can have when I want to have them. But like the bad food, good food thing, I want to be gone. Like my goal again is not to eat the whole bag of Oreos, just eat an acceptable amount, and whatever that is could be different from me to you. Another thing that I've been wanting to work on is events. Like, and that could be, I'm not even talking about the one wedding you go to a year or your birthday for the year. But like work snacks are an example, like the end of the year lunch, the beginning of the year lunch. We have snacks about once a month, and that used to agonize me. Like I would go in, I just feel like I can't eat as a snack at the table, and then I'd go home and go crazy. And so I've been trying to fix that. And so I would say in May, we've had quite a few snack or like food things at work. And I have either a small plate. Some days I picked the veggies and the dip. Other days I picked 2 Oreos. Another day I, picked a half a donut. So that way I feel like, yes, I can go to the snack table. I will pick the thing that looks the best to me. I make choices based on how I feel, but I feel like, okay, I've participated, and then I stop. I don't keep going back to the table, because I've had that in years past where like I would get way too much from the table. Then I'd go back and I go back. And so trying to focus on, yes, I can go to the, I can go into the lounge on whatever day, and I can responsibly have something from the table. I want to feel human. I don't want to deny myself for the next, 30 years. I felt like I spent over a decade on Weight Watchers denying myself. And I think the main reason I have not shared a video yet, but this is the 4th time I'm filming it, is because one of my things I have to work on is self-sabotage. And kind of 2 things bring this on. One, when I get close to a goal. Couple years ago, I had just fit into a certain brand of like Mrs. Pants. And then that kind of started in my head. I don't know. I unravel. When I get close to a goal, I start unraveling in my head. Any suggestions on how to fix that or why I do that? I am all ears. And the other big one is when I tell people that I've lost, 10 pounds or 5 pounds, or I tell people something. It can even be my husband. It could be you guys. It could be people at work. Again, I start self-sabotaging because if you guys know or somebody knows that I've lost X amount of weight, then I feel, pressure to not gain it back or to keep it up or next time you see me. And so I kind of feel like that might be the real reason I've not shared this video yet, is because I guess I put pressure on myself, or I feel like I put, you guys don't have expectations for me, but I feel like I somehow self-sabotage myself. And I want to get out of that, and I don't know how to get out of that. But those are some things I need to work on. And again, my main goal is to stop overeating. I'm a classic overeater. Prior to starting this medicine, I was getting really bad of just continually snacking from 3 to 8, and it was ridiculous. All right, so let's talk about Phentermine. Friday was finished my 4th week, or pretty much this weekend, I finished my 4th week. And I have lost 11.8 pounds, which I could have lost probably more, but the medicine and me sort of don't get along. And so I take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off the medicine. And so probably had I stayed on the medicine 7 days a week, I could have lost more. I also, in those 4 weeks, there was Mother's Day, we went to a tea. I was not going to I basically, totally enjoyed the tea, ate whatever I wanted. We went to the our county fair. I was not going to sit there and eat carrots at the fair. So I enjoyed myself. And so I had plenty of time where there were a couple events, I guess we should say, where I was not, I think I was reasonable, but I was not going to not enjoy myself, I guess. So I don't know if 11.8 is necessarily award-winning as far as a weight loss drug goes, but it is totally fine with me. I would rather take the slow road. And it's probably more than I had ever done on Weight Watchers in 4 weeks, but I don't really know. I always know the first week back on Weight Watchers, you can lose quite a bit. And then for me, I usually average anywhere from 1.8 to 3 pounds. I would say 3 pounds was rare on Weight Watchers. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit more than I would have lost on a Weight Watchers or calorie counting. But there's kind of how much I've lost. So let's talk about Phentermine. It comes in 15 milligrams, 30 milligrams, 37.5 milligrams. And I should also do a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you medical advice. So if you need that, please go to your doctor. And it works by suppressing your appetite. And I started on the 15. It did absolutely nothing. The doctor, I think, is afraid of everybody wanting the new glamorous shots. And basically, my medical group is very conservative. And they're not giving you the shots unless you've done 2 different drugs for 6 months. And they don't work. And so she did not want to give me the next dose up for a full 30 days. And again, I don't recommend this, but towards the end of that 30 days, I started taking 2 15s, and I was on the 30. I will say I prefer 30, but we'll get to the 37.5 in a little bit. So possible side effects, and there's a big list. So I'm only highlighting a couple, but headache, rapid pulse, kind of a heartbeat, chest pain, which I will say is my #1 symptom that I do not like. Absolutely, you kind of feel it in your heart. It's hard to explain. Kind of like you had too much caffeine, but still different. Loss of sleep, constipation, moodiness, and there are more lists goes on. And so I do not necessarily like how I feel on the medication. The very first week I was on this, I was very moody, very tired. I was also sick. I had a cold, so I don't know where that delved. The next week was definitely better. And so I did not like that per se, that feeling. The first week, caffeine definitely was, they don't recommend caffeine on it, but the caffeine definitely made the heart worse. You felt jittery. But the very first day I took the 30 milligrams, the head noise stopped. And that's one of my big things, is that the noise in my head, I feel like I have like a little devil sitting on my shoulder. You're hungry, Alicia. Go eat, Alicia. You need to eat. And I feel like I've probably had that my whole life. When I was a kid, my grandparents' friends, their nickname for me was Hungry, because I was literally always hungry. And I felt that way almost my whole life, that my stomach was bigger. Or as I got older and understood that we had like receptors in our brain telling us we're full, mine don't work. I really do feel like there's a chemical component in my head or in my body. I think people who are overweight get a bad rap of like, we just need to have self-control and don't eat 50 donuts. And if it was that easy, we'd all be skinny. Like, so I feel like people don't understand that there's something else going on. And that noise stopped. I mean, cold in its tracks. And I'm scared to go off the medicine and have that come back. It does not come back in the 3 days I take off. Oh, anyway, I cannot say what a relief it is to not have the war in my head. I recognize hunger on the 30 milligrams. I recognize when I'm truly hungry. So I was really able to practice only eating when I'm hungry. I feel fuller faster. So I naturally just eat less. I can stop when I'm satisfied. And I will say it's not perfect. I could choose to absolutely overeat if I wanted to. It's not like it takes away free will, but the little things in your head that make you feel hungry or seem hungry are gone. So common sense, you can just like, well, I just ate. I don't need to eat again. Like last night, for example, I went to the kitchen to find snacks. I was not hungry in any way. And I was able to walk back out of the kitchen. Now that was the first time I feel like in the 4 weeks where I actually like went into the kitchen twice to like get a snack. And I was like, no, I am not getting a snack. And I walked back out of the kitchen. So I've been doing less snacking. So I'm normally like my whole life, I've been a 3 meal a day, a 3 snack a day. And I feel like that's ingrained in you from a very young age. Like you go to school, you have snack in the morning. When you come home from school, you have snack in the afternoon. And so I do not generally snack in the morning and I do not snack in the afternoon. Now I don't say never, but it is very rare. So I'm only snacking if I'm truly, truly hungry. And I'm generally not now hungry in the morning for a snack and then the afternoon snack. I've also not been tracking. So again, my goal was to learn good habits. Again, eat the proper amount, only eat when I'm hungry. So I have not tracked except for the first weekend. The first weekend, I did track the weekends. But because I've counted calories or been on Weight Watchers for so long, I kind of have an idea in my head, the right amount to eat. So I feel like that's why I'm able to do that. And so I've just been trying to eat intuitively. But I do not like how I feel on the medicine. I like the benefit of the medicine, but I do not like feeling moody. And I will say, because I'm taking like 3 days off, each week, the first day off, I can kind of be low energy. I can kind of be moody. And sometimes the first day back on, and then it like, once you're kind of in a pattern, it seems to be better. But I don't like being moody. The cats, if you can hear them, are going crazy. They're zooming around. I don't like the heart feeling. I do not like, the sleep. So on 30, I feel like it was all lessened. And then When I ran out of the 15 milligram pills, the doctor put me on 37.5. And I have an appointment to talk with her this week. I want to go back down to 30. I'm afraid she's going to tell me I have to finish 37.5. 37.5, the sleep is 100% worse. Like, I am just not sleeping good. I feel like the chest pain is worse. And on the 30 milligram, I could really listen to my body. The 37.5, especially the first day, I felt nothing. Like, nothing. No hunger or anything. Well, you can't intuitively eat if you don't feel it. And so I personally am not liking the 37.5. I feel like I'm more anxious. Something. There's just something, like, I feel like a rat on a wheel and I can't get off. And so I don't like the 37.5. So I want to go back down to the 30. Because I just like the 30. So that's kind of a nutshell. I feel like if you're like me and you struggled with weight, why not go talk to your doctor and see if this is right for you or if another medication is right for you? Because I have to say, it's been amazing, to finally have the voice in my head quiet, to actually approach food like a rational being. I'm almost tearing up, which I do feel like sometimes, even though I'm not